told you you'd be 2-0, but they had turnover differential was whatever it was. It was the statistics did not resonate to a 2-0 team. Would you have thought they'd be crazy or something like that? I'd hate to be your wife. I'd hate to be your wife.
It was perceived to be a negative question in the aftermath of a Victoria's game, but nevertheless. Bobby in Canton, you're on 97.1 The Ticket. Hello, Robert.
Hey, how you doing? Good morning, fellas and lady.
Good morning.
Yeah, the one thing that kind of, sticks out with me that I'll never forget is after the Wings won their first cup, and, everybody was just on cloud nine, and then, you hear the next morning or later that night or something like that where the Wings were Constantine Hall, trainer, and a couple of guys, I guess, that were in the limo, and they get into crash in Woodward, and then, the after effects, Constantine also, basically paralyzed, and the trainer is really messed up too, and, you didn't know what was going to happen, after the next season. I mean, he was at the top of his game, he was so dominant, and just to think of what could have been with him and Lester back there, for years to come. It just, they went on for success still, but it just makes you wonder, and plus it was just sad. Everybody was just so euphoric about what happened, and just, I don't know, just kind of brought everybody down, It was just a sad story.
You would have never had Chili's Chili Bars.
Right? There you go.
No, I think the stunning thing about it to me, Bobby, was the fact that it came 6 days after they won the Stanley Cup, which came, 54 years? Or 48. The fact that Red Wing Nation waited so long for the championship, and then they got it, and you figured, okay, this summer is going to be a giant party in Detroit. And it still was. After the accident, obviously a week or two, there were still, cup sightings everywhere. But here it is that last week. The guys do exactly what you're supposed to do. They responsibly knew they were going to be drinking on the golf course that day, so they get a limo, and they do everything right. And it's just the fact that there was this great joy. The sense of happiness in Detroit after the cup was just palpable. And then 6 days later, it's just like, gone. And, I was watching the NBA Finals because the Bulls won that night. It was a Friday night that won it, and then all of a sudden, as the Bulls were winning the championship, word leaked out that there was this limo act. Yeah, that's right up there for sure.
Ticket text. Chris Chelios coming to the Wings. Thought no way that would ever happen due to the hatred between Chicago and Detroit.
Yeah, that was, Shanahan, although the Shanahan one there was inklings of.
Oh, yeah.
But Chelios was a bombshell. But not as big of a bombshell to me as Dominic Hasek. I remember when Dominic Hasek happened, I was like, the Wings just got dominant. It just didn't seem fair.
I know.
It's like when the Warriors got Kevin Durant. It's like, come on, it's not fair.
Two shockers to me were Rasheed Wallace being traded to the Pistons and Jim Harbaugh becoming Michigan's head coach. Well, Rasheed was something that everybody, that'd be really cool. Could they pull it off? And they needed the third team to pull it off, which was the Celtics. It wasn't a complete shocker. So surprise, yes. Harbaugh, it was pretty surprising.
It was surprising, but you started to see as that whole thing kind of unfolded, and they announced that Brady Hoke wasn't going to come back, and yet they didn't hire anybody. So it's like, oh, they're waiting for Harbaugh. They're not going to sit here and wait for Harbaugh unless they have a sense that this might actually happen. And then you had some of the NFL guys saying, oh, please, he's going to stay. But then you had other people saying, I don't know. So when it actually finally happened, it wasn't a huge stutter.
How about Tigers getting Miggy? I remember working that day. It was while we were on the air. It was like, it came out of nowhere. It wasn't like a rumor, Back then, they didn't have that many rumor mills, the internet going crazy like they do now. But still, it came out of freaking nowhere.
Right, like
best young player in Major League Baseball coming to Detroit.
Right. For example, this one right here, Greg at work texts in when the Tigers signed Pudge. Well, by the time the Tigers actually signed Pudge, we had kind of known that they were in on him.
Right.
It was just that they overpaid and overextended in terms of giving him a long-term contract because nobody else was.
We still didn't think they were going to get him, even though they,
Screw that, yeah. But with Miggy, you're right, that came out of left field. And then this one here, ticket text 97136, the Tigers signing Prince Field. That's I remember exactly when I found out about that. Because, that was obviously the Victor Martinez injury. They needed a guy who would protect Miggy, another guy who could be a big stick in the middle of the lineup. But I mean, Dombrowski and Jim Leland both were asked about Prince Fielder specifically, and they both said, "No way, are you crazy?"
All of a sudden, Mr. Ellis said, "You know what? I got some extra money."
Yeah, Scott Boras, Mr. I, please. They made that connection, and sure enough. I was lucky enough to receive my first season ticket package in the mail the same week Barry retired. It goes without saying that I didn't see a lot of good football victories during my tenure as a season ticket holder after that. That's from AJ and Shore.
Come on, AJ. They made the playoffs that year. They went to Seattle and won. That was the first year I was ever in a suicide pool and took Seattle.
I did too, 100%. I did the exact same thing. The Free Press yesterday published some of the excerpts from what they published in the paper the morning after Barry retired. And one of the things was like winners and losers. And they said loser, something along the lines of Christmas Day, because Christmas Day game that year was the Denver Broncos at the Detroit Lions. And when the schedule came out, that would have been John Elway versus Barry Sanders. And then John Elway retired, right? He retired? No, he retired the fall. No, he retired that year. 99, yeah. And then Barry retired. So it did they said there, Bubby Brister v. Ron Rivers. Doesn't have quite the same ring as John Elway versus Barry Sanders.
It was interesting reading this stuff yesterday. All the Greg Hill and Ron Rivers didn't like each other and all that.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
All right, we are coming up on 7 o'clock. Tony Ortiz has a sports update. When we return, Nick Castellanos shares his thoughts on Comerica Park. 97.1 The Tickets.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. Radio.com sports station. Sports headlines. All day, every day. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. The Tigers win for just the second time in their last 13 outings as they defeat the Blue Jays 4-3 yesterday at Comerica Park. Nicholas Castellanos drove in the game-winning run with a walk-off solo home run in the bottom of the 10th inning. Castellanos' blast overshadowed a solid performance from rookie starter Tyler Alexander, left-hander giving up just one run over 7 innings. Meanwhile, the Baseball Hall of Fame welcomed in 6 new members yesterday in ceremonies that were held in Cooperstown, New York. Among the 6, the late Roy Halladay, whose presentation speech was delivered by his widow, Brandy Halladay, who thanked Blue Jays and Phillies fans for their support of her husband throughout the years.
There are not enough words to thank you for your friendship, your support, your tutelage. Roy's natural talent obviously was a huge part of this, but without the unconditional and continued support from every one of you, he never could have dedicated himself to being the best ball player that he could be.
Halladay was killed back in November of 2017 when engine failure forced his plane to crash into the Gulf of Mexico.
Tony, as a Blue Jay fan, were you offended that he went in as no logo on his helmet?
Not at all, because he had as good a career with the Phillies, and it was a shorter one, but he had as good a career with the Phillies as he did with the Blue Jays. So I was good with him not going in with a logo on his cap. Ireland's Shane Lowry defeats England's Tommy Fleetwood by 6 shots to win the British Open on Sunday, the final major of the year on the PGA Tour. Lowry's victory breaks a recent stranglehold by American golfers who had won 10 of the last 11 majors before this year's British Open. Meanwhile, ESPN reporting this morning, Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy will headline the return of the Skins game, which will take place this coming October in Japan. Also scheduled to compete in that event, Jason Day and Hideki Matsuyama. From The Ticket Updates, I'm Tony Ortiz. For more, go to 971theticket.com.
Jamie, impressive, yet disgusting.
Stoney.
Once I got it in there, it was okay.
On 97.1 The Ticket.
Good Monday morning, everybody. Jamie and Stoney, Jamie Samuelson, Mike Stone, Tony Ortiz, and Heather Park with you here on should be a really nice day today. Partly sunny skies, high of 78 degrees. Coming up this hour, we have tickets to give away to see WWE SmackDown.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. The LCA will be the host to that on Tuesday, August the 6th. So we will be giving away tickets to that coming up at 7:35. We didn't really talk about the British Open. Yesterday was a walkover. By the time I turned it on, Shane Lowry was pretty much dorming, whatever they call it, Ryder Cup. He was so far ahead.
So far ahead going in anyway. You kind of hoped that Koepka or somebody would get on a roll, but they never did. And you know what? No, Koepka, even though he ballooned to a 74 yesterday, he's the 5th player to come in the top 5 in 5 straight majors. So he's still dominant.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I didn't watch much of it this weekend because of the timing of it and the fact that Lowry was so far ahead yesterday. But the only brief glimmer of interest I had was on Saturday when Lee Westwood was charging up the leaderboard. And in my life, I've never rooted for Lee Westwood. But I was like, oh, I would definitely root for Lee.
Yeah.
You know, after
He's one of those guys. Never won a major.
82, I believe, majors. And so it would have been really cool for him to win the one. I'm sure he wants more than the other. But alack and alas, he did not. So congratulations to Shane Lowry. All right, yesterday the Tigers beat the Blue Jays by a final score of 4-3 as Nicholas Castellanos hit a walk-off homer in the bottom of the 10th inning. It's notable for a lot of reasons. Nick obviously has been hitting the ball very, very well in the last couple months. He was 3 for 5 yesterday. He's got his batting average up to 284. He's got 34 doubles, which is number 1 in Major League Baseball. And one of the reasons he has 34 doubles is he plays his home games at Comerica Park, where it's a lot easier to hit doubles and triples, it seems at times, than it is to hit home runs. And after the game, he talked about a variety of things inside the Tiger clubhouse, including the trade deadline, but he did focus in on Comerica Park, which I don't think he's a huge fan of.
This park's a joke. You know, it's to the point where, like, how are we going to be compared to the rest of the people in the league for power numbers and OPS and slugging and all this stuff? And we got a yard out here that's 420 feet straight across the center field. You know, and then we get on second base or third base, and they're looking like, man, how do you guys do this? How do you guys? We play 81 games here, man. I don't want to hear about year 2 that you hit that are questionable. You know, but it is what it is, man.
All right. Look, we've heard complaints about the dimensions since the ballpark was built.
Yeah, Dean Palmer didn't like it.
Yes, and Juan Gonzalez. So they moved it in a little bit.
A left field.
Yeah, they reconfigured the bullpens. And look, I still like it the way it is. I think it makes it different. To me, the biggest joke is stadiums like Yankee Stadium and Philly, where you hit these routine fly balls that are home runs now. To me, that's a bigger joke. And while Castellanos is technically correct for this year, I mean, of his 11 home runs, 8 have been on the road. His OPS on the road is 922, at home at 685 for this season. However, Mr. Castellanos, career-wise for you, your OPS at home is 805, and on the road it's 766. Your batting average at home is 285, on the road it's 264. You have 23 triples at home, 9 on the road. Your career doubles are equal, 102 to 102. Yes, you do have more home runs on the road, 60 to 43. But I don't want to hear about the OPS, considering that his OPS is higher at home.
Right. I mean, he misses a key point, and I think he knows it, but what he probably should have said was just home runs.
Yes.
If he's concerned with that with home runs, then I understand it. OPS, Comerica Park was built for OPS.
Yes.
Because it's total bases. And so, triples alley in the right field, power alley, there are doubles to be had all over that ballpark, down the line and in the gaps. And there are a lot of, because the dimensions are a little bit bigger, there are a lot of balls that fall in. I mean, I was actually listening to a fair amount of the game yesterday because I was doing some errands on the radio, and Dan Dickerson and Jim Price, it's almost like they anticipated that this was going to be an issue after the game, partially because the Tigers did hit a bunch of baseballs on Saturday that probably should have gone out, John Hicks in particular. But they said, look at Miguel Cabrera. In his career, he's actually hit more home runs. I think they said this, maybe I don't have this exactly right, but his numbers at Comerica Park are actually better than his numbers on the road, because Miggy is a complete hitter, or was a complete hitter, who could take advantage of all the nooks and crannies at Comerica Park. So while it is a good pitcher's park, it also is conducive to offense. It's just not as conducive to the moonshot, center field, perfectly hit baseballs that would go for a home run. And, if I were a baseball player, I'd probably be obsessed with my stats too. But Castellanos did go on to say that, he hit a ball off of Anibal Sanchez when the Nationals were here. And he goes, I hit the ball 434 feet and it landed in the first row. It's like, wow, Nick, you knew exactly the measurement of the ball you hit, and you knew exactly where it landed.
Tell us the exit velocity.
It's about home runs. Yes. Comerica Park taketh away the home run. There's no doubt about that. But it giveth the extra base hit.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Look, I'm looking at Miggy's career. Now, granted, a few of his years were playing for the Marlins. But first few years.
But it's not that much of a discrepancy.
Probably not. OPS, his OPS at home is 972. It's 905 on the road. So, I mean, Kamara can give it and Kamara can take it.
I guess the
And if
question
you're an
is,
agent, like Scott Boras, okay, is Nick Castellanos' agent. So I imagine when it comes to discussing a new contract, when he's a free agent, not necessarily with the Tigers, he'll throw out these, his numbers would be better if he played in other parks. But what about, I don't know, you were the agent for Max Scherzer, or what about pitchers who have pitched in Detroit? I'm sure the OPS and home runs allowed helps your clients in those situations too.
Mm-hmm.
Works out, and I don't hear Nick Castellanos saying, you know what, the balls are juice.
no.
It's like, come on, really?
All right, so anyway, Castellanos went on to talk more about Comerica Park and what it has meant to his teammate, Miguel Cabrera.
Well, just put it in perspective. Like, let's say if Miggy played his whole career in Yankee Stadium or in Great American Ballpark, whatever, he's already, him and Bonds are the greatest hitters, period. You know, it's like there's no question or discussion but the fact that he's played in Pro Player Stadium, the Marlins Old Park, and then Comerica Park, and there's a discussion.
Yeah, Pro Player was not exactly a home run haven for sure.
No, but again, as you mentioned, I mean, Cabrera's a great power hitter, and obviously he won the home run title. But for much of his career, it has not always been about putting up the Bonds, McGuire, Sosa numbers. It's been about, 25, 30 home runs, a lot of doubles, not as many triples because of his lack of speed, but, big-time RBIs, big-time clutch hits. It's not necessarily about a guy who is in a kind of an all-or-nothing Aaron Judge type of player. And so I think Miggy's benefited in a lot of ways from Comerica.
Yes.
Again, the guy
Because
who's
his
in the
doubles-
opposite field.
Because his doubles, because of the park is so big, he actually could jog into second base as opposed to if he was hitting doubles in a smaller ballpark, he'd really have to run and hustle and slide.
So then he was asked, how would you fix Comerica Park?
Just move in center field, right center. There's no reason that, I hit a ball 434
There it
feet
is.
off of Anibal Sanchez and it goes in the first row. That shouldn't happen.
Yeah. But he also said, but this is not my responsibility. He kind of smiled at the end.
Yeah.
248-539-9797. As a fan out there, do you like Comerica Park, or do you think that the dimensions are unfair? The only way it's unfair, Stoney, in my opinion, and it's not unfair, but the only way it's off is just modern baseball. And I don't really like modern baseball, so I don't really have a problem with it. But it's the whole launch angle,
Right.
home runs, all or nothing, swing for the fences. That part of it is not very successful. So when you look at some of the numbers, Clay Bell or Cody Bellinger's putting up for the Dodgers, or Kristen Yelich, it's like, oh, how come the Tigers don't have one of those guys, those people? And, well, it's probably virtually impossible to be that good, but they don't have those kind of power hitters. It's not so much the park. I mean, look, the Tigers don't, it's not like they have a guy with like 16 home runs and say, okay, well, if he played at Yankee Stadium, he'd have 25 home runs. They don't have a guy with 15 home runs. They barely have guys with 10 home runs.
Right.
So this has less to do with the park and more to do with the lack of quality power hitting on the Tigers this year.
The team is impotent, basically. I mean, they are.
Oh, I thought you meant, no, I was going to say, how dare you? You have no proof. I mean, Michael Fulmer just had a baby boy. Congratulations to the Fulmers.
He's a pitcher.
Okay, that's a good point. But I get what you're saying. Yes, they don't have a ton of power in that line.
No, they don't. And, the ballpark would probably give them, more home runs, but it would give them less doubles.
Yeah. I mean, I think if some fans had their druthers, they would bring in the center field fences a bit. Okay? Now, I don't know if they can do that without changing the entire complexion of the ballpark. But at the same time, I've been to plenty of games there. I've found many of them entertaining. They got to the World Series twice, and the reason they didn't win the World Series had nothing to do with the ballpark in which they were playing.
No.
Nothing. So it's not like it's held them back, in my opinion. 248-539-9797. Ticket text 97136. Coming up next, Heather has news. Coming up at 7:35, it's your chance to win WWE tickets on 97.1 The Ticket. Ryan LaFontaine, one of the key guys, the man behind the family deal at LaFontaine, wants you to know one thing. Due to a high number of spring lease returns and trade-ins at LaFontaine, FamilyDeal.com is overstocked right now with pre-owned inventory. Thousands of cars and trucks and SUVs. In addition to a major price drop across the entire used car inventory, LaFontaine is offering to give you $1,000 above the Kelly Blue Book value for your trade. In other words, the family deals are popping up right now at La Fontaine. You can go on to familydeal.com and see what's there, including a 2017 Cadillac CT6 Turbo Platinum that has been marked down to half off the original MSRP. All pre-owned vehicles at familydeal.com have been reconditioned and have passed through a rigorous multi-point safety inspection by a factory-trained certified technician. So, if you are in the market for a safe, reliable, used, or OEM-certified vehicle, now's the time. Shop familydeal.com today.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
This report brought to you by Two Men and a Truck. The roads are accident-free this morning and just seeing some of the usual delays around construction. Also, numerous traffic signals are still not working due to power outages. That includes Wayne at Eureka Road, Southfield at 10 Mile, 8 and 12 Mile roads at DeQuinder, and Ford Road between Merriman and Middlebelt. Why work for Two Men and a Truck? Problem solving and making people happy is who you are. Going above and beyond for your customers. Moving up the ladder while moving people forward. That's why you work for Two Men and a Truck. For your next career move, check out careers.twomenandatruck.com. I'm Michelle Pena in the WWJ 24-hour Traffic Center.
Tires, headlights, and pistons all play here. 97.1 The Ticket.
Recent storms have caused many outages, and DTE is working to restore power as quickly as possible. Of course, the most important thing is your safety. If you see a downed line, report it through your DTE app or call 800-477-4747. Remember, stay at least 20 feet away. Don't touch anything near it, and keep kids and pets away too. Yes, an outage is inconvenient, but together we can keep it safe. DTE. If your power is out, a generator can make things easier. But DTE wants you to know how to keep your family safe. Never ever use a portable generator inside your home. It emits carbon monoxide, which can be deadly. Keep it outside, away from windows and doors, so the fumes won't come in. Read the manufacturer's safety instructions and follow them. Generators can make outages more bearable, but please, use them safely. DTE.
North Bloomfield Properties is the area's most recommended full-service property management team. They're experts in advertising, cleaning, maintaining, and repairing your rental property. Enjoy your weekends again. Visit northbloomfield.com.
Properties, experts you can trust.
3, 2, 1.
The Consumer Center's 400, Sunday, August 11th at Michigan International Speedway. NASCAR's most entertaining track. There's tons to do with the whole family, like camping, live music, fireworks, and more. Tickets as low as $39. Admission for kids under 12 is half price with a free kid and driver introduction pass, courtesy of Henry Ford Health System. Michigan International Speedway. You don't get it until you get here. Visit mispeedway.com for tickets. A perfect day on the green is just what I needed. All right, square my shoulders. Just ignore it. Square my shoulders and...
No, isn't that your phone?
Great. Hello? Let me guess. The air compressor's down. All right, I'm coming in.
Air Center sells and services industrial air compressors and systems for businesses that need to run strong. Air Center sells Kaiser, the most reliable air compressors in the world. If you need a new air compressor or are in need of service, call Air Center at 800-AIR-2959 or visit teamaircenter.com. Air Center and Kaiser, run strong.
Attention motorhome shoppers, you'll find extreme motorhome deals at General RV. This week only, you'll get our largest cashback discounts off our lowest prices. Save thousands on Class A's, Class C's, and diesels with these one-time only extreme motorhome deals. Inventory is limited, so hurry in. Upgrade to a new motorhome and save thousands with our largest cashback discounts. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Now through Saturday at General RV Supercenters in Wixom, Clarkston, Brownstown, and Mount Clemens.
Looking to build a deck? Think Trex is out of your price range? Well, John's Lumber, Macomb County's largest Trex dealer, has priced Trex to put the pressure on treated lumber. A Trex deck is ready when you are. Sanding, staining, or painting is no way to spend your summer. Plus, Trex comes with a 25-year fade and stain warranty. That's something wood can't promise. Come take a second look at the #1 name in outdoor living, Trex at John's Lumber. Proudly serving Metro Detroit since 1947. Hours and locations at johnslumber.com.
If you're looking for more ways to save, you're gonna love the Buy 5, Save 5 event happening now at Kroger. Just choose from a wide selection of participating items, and when you buy any 5, you'll save $5 at checkout with card. Visit Kroger.com or the app for details. And while you're online,
who are planning home improvements of $5,000 or more will pay for those renovations with a high-interest credit card. That may not be a great idea. A better idea may be to take cash out of your home with a Quicken Loans 30-year fixed-rate mortgage. The rate today on our 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 4.125%. APR 4.22%. Call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
Rate subject to change. 8.88% fee to receive this discounted rate. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. License in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
97.1 The Ticket and Beaumont's Student Heart Check program provides a healthy heart check for students whose families might not otherwise be able to afford it. Go to 971theticket.com, search Student Heart Check, and help make a difference in our community. Got something to say? Text 971 The Ticket now at 97136. Ticket text brought to you by LaFontaine Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Saline. Home of the Family Deal. Find over 5,000 new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs daily at FamilyDeal.com.
Now available for download. Always Aggravated. A Mike Valenti's signature podcast. Get it on radio.com and Apple iTunes.
Jamie and Stoney with Heather on 97.1 The Ticket. Tigers win 4-3, the walk-off by Castellanos. No game today. They will take on the Phillies tomorrow night. It is time now for news with Heather. Heather, what's going on?
Well, thousands of Michiganders are still without power after the severe weather ripped through the state over the weekend. And DTE says 90% of the 290,000 people still without power should have their service restored by the end of the day tomorrow. And the good news, though, Jamie, is that today's high is supposed to be 78 degrees, which you say is very, very livable.
It is. It is.
So everyone should be okay.
Well, no, because I'm sure their house has gotten a lot of heat in the last couple of days, which takes a while to expel from the house. But yes.
But it won't be as hot today as it was over the weekend.
Right, you can actually open up your windows and get fresh air and actually not have it be totally oppressive. You'll be fine. No big deal. No, I feel bad for people without power. And
oh my gosh.
Especially because look, we've all been there. And you're like, when's this going to be back on? Mm-hmm. Why aren't you in my neighborhood? Because there's,
I know.
I heard Charlie Langdon this morning at WWJ say that they brought in crews from New York and Pennsylvania, I believe, to help out with all the Michigan workers. They are working around the clock to try to get this back online.
They knew this was coming, too. They forecasted that this was going to be the worst, one of the worst that they ever had.
I looked on Twitter on Friday afternoon, and Paul Gross, who's a great weather forecaster on Channel 4, who also, by the way, waited till after the sun went down to fill up his gas tank during the ozone action day.
Good for him.
And called me out on Twitter for having done so, because I said, I'm not going to do that. But he posted something. He goes, if you know anybody up north, send them this now. There's a massive storm coming between the overnight hours of Friday and Saturday. And I immediately thought of Stoney and forgot to send it to him. Sorry about that.
When I was working the game on Friday, people were sending me video of the storms that were going on at their house. They're like, the rain is coming, Heather. Haha, be prepared for a rain delay. And I'm like, thanks. And then it never rained. Thank goodness we never got it. But the storm basically just split right where Comerica Park is. And
I want you to know that when I'm aware of you being at Comerica Park and aware of a rain delay, I always feel bad for you. I would never text you and go, ha-ha.
I don't think people were, kind of. They were just saying, hey, the rain is coming. Look out.
On the weekend, I don't feel as bad because you can still sleep. During the week, when you have rain delays and you have to be here early, I feel worse.
But that's my weekend. That's all I get. And then when I have rain delays on the weekend, I don't get a weekend.
Yes.
I would rather have them on the weekdays than on the weekends. Because that's all my time off.
On Saturday with a 6:10 start, which is not exactly an ideal start time for you.
Right.
And the fact that game was delayed, I did feel bad for you.
It was okay, though. It was okay. All right, so obviously we've been hearing all about the very mysterious deaths that are happening in the Dominican Republic. But now we're learning that at least 19 people died last month in Costa Rica after drinking tainted alcohol.
Okay.
Haven't been hearing about it. Yeah, apparently they say that 14 men, 5 women, ranging in age from 32 to 72, died from what appears to be menthol poisoning.
Really?
Yeah. They say more than 30,000 bottles of alcohol
30,000?
that were suspected to be contaminated have been confiscated by the government.
Wow. such great things about Costa Rica.
I've been there, and it's unreal.
I was there, but the one thing I do remember was that the bar and the pool. It was so watered down. There was something I would like to 5 vodka tonics without getting a buzz.
Look at you. I think we bounced around so much when we were there. We didn't stay in one place. I think we just went to the grocery stores and bought our own, and then made drinks in our room or brought them down to the pool. But we didn't. I feel like we never really went to the pool because we were so busy hiking and sightseeing and things like that. But Costa Rica is pretty darn cool. The monkeys, they wake you up in the morning. The howler monkeys.
And that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very cool.
I don't think I want to be woken up by one. Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's very, very cool to wake up. There's a monkey right outside of your hotel room.
They can holler at 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'll look at them at noon. I don't need to look at them at 6 a.m.
Cool when monkeys do it, when the kids do it, no way.
Yeah, exactly. When kids are screaming at that time, please. Golly.
What if the monkey belongs to a kid? Hey, kid, get that monkey out of here.
Get out of here. Canadian police are apologizing after accidentally applying a cat filter during a live streaming of a very serious double homicide press conference.
This is the greatest story maybe in history.
You've got to look up the photo. So obviously it was a very serious press conference, and the whole time the police sergeant is speaking, she had cat ears, a cat nose, and cat whiskers on her face because of this cat filter. Now, the police is saying, because people thought this has to be a joke, there's no way this was real, they're saying, no, it was real, and they say that the mistake was caused by an automatic setting.
Why does the police station even have a cat filter to start with?
Because it was they were live streaming it on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, so what they're saying that it was an automatic setting on Facebook. I'm thinking.
Really? I don't know. I mean,
It's just who cares? It's great. That's the news.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, the photo.
I mean, obviously it's a horrible situation. They're talking about a double homicide.
Without a doubt.
And here's this cop with a cat filter on. This female cop, right?
Yeah. It's not like she got called in late from a Halloween party. And you have to speak. I don't care what you're wearing.
Yeah.
Just leave it on, leave the costume on, and start talking.
Well, loyal listeners to our show will know that one of my all-time goals in life is on the day where the Today Show dresses up in costumes for Halloween, and they really go all. They lean it in. I mean,
they go all out.
It's not like they're putting on a mask and they can just tear off the mask.
Right.
I mean, they do makeup, they do costumes, they do the whole 9 yards. Is for something really bad to happen in the news. I don't want anything really bad to happen, but so that they have to deliver the news while dressed up as Batman.
Trying to deliver serious news dressed up as a funny character, right? So the Lion King dominated box offices this weekend, bringing in $185 million in its first weekend and $531 million worldwide.
Yeah.
It really basically, shattered expectations, shattered all these records. I'll probably see it eventually. I loved The Lion King, the original.
Yeah, I kind of think we'll see it too. I mean, I don't know, I know the reviews have kind of been meh in terms of the actual, but it looks like a spectacular piece of, I don't know, cinema.
And the music has to be good.
And you knew, like Stoney said earlier, the fact that there was this heat wave across a lot of the United States this weekend meant I would think great things for the movie theaters.
Without a doubt.
Be inside in a cold, dark place.
Yep.
The thermostat right there at 78.
Not only that, it was Saturday.
Hello.
What's going on?
Nothing. What's going on with you?
Oh, we're just driving downtown.
Driving downtown?
Yeah.
Where are you at?
Gotta go to Hilger.
Where?
Hilger, the yard. It's right Jefferson. Right downtown by the river.
Right by Eli?
Yeah, not too far.
Did you use your griddle?
No, haven't used it yet.
Oh my god.
I got it seasoned.
Did you have to go to the hospital last night?
Yeah.
Well, my doctor abilities are just as good, and it took me one Google search.
For what?
she's not going to like the answer, but it's from smoking cigarettes and drinking. And it'll go, and it said it'll go away if you stop. It's called something.
The doctors did a CAT scan and didn't see anything.
Yeah, it's not like a disease or anything. It'll go away if she doesn't smoke.
I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Well, then it's not gonna go away. It just gets worse. But like, I knew it wasn't thrush. She literally got that idea in her head because it happens to breastfed babies, and I was worried about it for like a day.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they said at the hospital. They said unless you've got cancer or you're an infant, you don't get thrush.
Yeah.
Start going,
And like my people, of course she did. No, it's from smoking cigarettes. It literally takes 2 seconds to look up. It's called something that starts with an L.
How long does it take to go away if you stop smoking?
I don't know. It said it will clear up on its own if you stop smoking and drinking alcohol, and that it happens from heavy cigarette or heavy tobacco and alcohol use.
Yeah, that could be it.
It says white patches in the mouth, on the tongue, and the throat.
That could be it.
It's definitely what it is.
So what are you guys doing?
We're just watching some bubble guppies and
Nice.
just got a diaper change.
It's supposed to be a nice week as far as the temperature goes.
You know, I think we're gonna go take back some of her newborn clothes today at some point.
What?
We're gonna go sell them at a consignment shop.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah. Make some money, go to Salvation Army, get her some new stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
She got, she's gone up in sizes.
Oh yeah. And now she's running out of stuff now. Gonna have to start buying new stuff.
What size does she wear?
6 to 9 months now.
Oh, that's perfect.
A big girl.
And she's what, going on 6 months?
Yeah, she'll be 6 months on August 9th. Yeah? She wants to talk on the phone.
Yeah.
She said yeah this morning.
Yeah.
Yes. Eli walked in and said, say yeah! I said, yeah!
Did she say Papa yet?
No. She also doesn't say mama, so. She mama, 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 mama. Stop, you can't hear my phone.
Should be coming up.
Almost time for a nap.
Yeah, I need one too. I fell asleep at like 7:30 last night.
Ooh! Did you get a good sleep?
And I woke up at 4.
Well, that's a good sleep.
Yeah, still 7 hours.
It's 8 hours.
Almost 8 hours.
It is 8 hours.
Close to
It is, isn't it?
Oh, you missed it. What? Missed it.
Because it would be 8 hours.
Yeah.
So 7 to 4 is 9 hours.
Well, I got almost 9 hours.
So did Sadie. She got about 12.
Nice.
I know she's been eating like a fiend, so I had to mix an ounce of formula into her breast milk. And formula is supposed to keep her fuller longer. So I did it with 2 bottles, and Eli went in. He put her to bed at 6, and then he went in around like 9:30 or 10, and then she didn't wake up for the rest of the night.
Nice.
That never happens.
Got to sleep through the night?
That literally never happens. I was so proud.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
Homeless guy standing on the corner with a blanket wrapped around him, sleeping, standing up.
Sleeping, standing up.
Yeah.
So, on drugs, probably.
Probably.
Yay! Yay! Alright, well, if you guys are around here.
Righty, baby.
Alright.
Love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.
The radio.com app. Download it today and listen to us anytime, anywhere.
First pitch to Castellanos. Fly ball left field. Way back to left. Got a chance. Gone. Beautiful. Nick Castellanos walks it off with home run number 11. And the Tigers get to have the welcoming committee at home plate as he rounds third into the mound seat at home.
Tigers 4, Blue Jays 3 on the walk-off by Nick Castellanos. The WWE is coming to Detroit. Who says this is a slow sports season? They will be at the LCA on Tuesday, August the 6th at 7:45 p.m. WWE will bring all the SmackDown Superstar action back to the LCA in District Detroit. Tickets can be purchased now at Ticketmaster.com. And Stoney, we have a pair of tickets to give away to that, and we're going to play Random Wrestler.
Oh, sweet!
You excited?
I love wrestling. Especially the old time.
I wouldn't be very good at this one, but I guarantee there's a lot of people out there who would. So you know how this works. We give you 4 clues. You tell us who it is after the 4th clue. 248-539-9797. Clue number 1, he was born in North Carolina. He was born in North Carolina. All right? Clues 2, 3, and 4 in just a little bit. And then you tell us who we were talking about. Some Ticket Text reaction to the Nicholas Castellanos clips we played before Heather's newscast. I'm so tired of Castellanos. Just get his ass out of here. He thinks he's better than he actually is. That's from Red. And you're making a false equivalency. The road stats don't matter. They lose home runs. The sport is now entirely about home runs. It hurts offensive players.
It hurts their home run stats. You are correct, but it does not hurt a lot of their OPS, a lot of their batting average.
Right.
They get a lot more. If you played in normal stadium, a lot of the gap doubles would be flyouts.
Correct.
You know, obviously some balls and outs would be home runs too.
Mm-hmm.
But it works out the same.
Maybe he's playing half his games at Comerica Park makes his Triple Crown so much more impressive. Correct. I mean, a Triple Crown is pretty impressive. So I don't know how you can make it more impressive, but I see what you're saying.
I love people who try to downplay that. You know, it hadn't been done since '67.
Yeah.
You know, it's like.
Well, I don't think anybody downplayed it. They downplayed it because it was the home run or the MVP battle with Trout.
Right.
And they were saying that Trout had a better year. Nobody. The problem with the Trout-Cabrera debate was always that to make it, you were running down the other player, and that was preposterous. So the Trout people were like, well, you know, it's not that. Yes, it is. They're both really, really good. It's apples and apples is what you're comparing. I'm all for bringing the walls in all over Major League Baseball. Anything to get rid of Bonds' fraudulent home run record. Yeah. Bring in all the fences for like 15 years. Have somebody pop 800 home runs and move them back out so it's all legitimate again. What's he complaining about? Old Tiger Stadium was 440 to dead center. That's from Chris in Austin.
True, but left and especially right field, you get a fly ball, the overhang was an easy home run. But yes.
Bring the defense is in, you lose that game yesterday. Yeah, that's true. I mean, absolutely. Nobody was bitching about Comerica for a 10-year span. There's nothing wrong with the park.
That's a great point. Because all the bitching, came early at Comerica Park, where the dimensions were even bigger than they are now. But you really didn't hear anybody bitching when the Tigers were really good, did you?
Well, Lynn Henning from the Detroit News.
Hey, everything should happen, on his watch. He should be the czar of sports.
He's always felt that the ballpark dimensions were a little bit unfair. All right, on Friday's show, Stoney, when you were gone, we talked about the Jim Harbaugh and Urban Meyer comments. We're going to get to his latest salvo coming up at around 7:50. But Heather, who I got to say is one of the hardest working coworkers I've ever worked with, in that she works about 1,000 jobs, and I feel like you're never not working. And when you're home, you're working on your home.
Yeah.
That's right.
There's always a project.
Heather rarely comes in and goes, "What'd you do this weekend, Heather?" I just kind of laid around. And I rarely do hear her say that.
That's my job.
Exactly. You take care of that. But you say over the weekend that you were particularly lazy.
I was. Not the whole weekend.
Good for you.
Just this particular chunk of the weekend.
Yes.
And, sometimes you think, okay, I'll just take a little shortcut, or I'll be a little bit lazy and I'll get things done quicker. It normally doesn't turn out that way. And I got so frustrated. So this was Friday after the show. I was leaving, and I knew I was going to need gas before I tried to go to the Tigers game later that evening. So I stopped at a gas station on my way home from work. Pulled up to the pump, put my card in, and it kept saying, error, go see attendant. And I'm like, I don't want to go see the attendant. I want to pay right here. So instead of going to see the attendant, I said, you know what? I'm just going to pull up to the pump right ahead of me. So I just pulled right up, tried it again. Error, please see attendant. And I thought, I really don't feel like walking in to see the attendant. I just didn't feel like going inside. Mind you, it would have taken me...
You didn't want to see people.
I just didn't. Yeah, I didn't want to. I just didn't feel like going inside. I know it would have taken maybe 45 seconds to walk in.
Unless there was a line.
But once, I just didn't feel like doing it. And I wasn't on empty.
Do you think there's any chance that the attendant looks out the window and he sees a particularly attractive woman and he goes... And he presses some sort of a button that overrides the entire system?
Not at all.
But that's a great thought. And I'm sure all the people who own gas stations will now think
He sees me and Stoney's like, go ahead.
Fine.
Oh, Heather. Sorry, come see attendant.
Please see attendant.
Yeah.
Free popcorn.
And I knew I had enough gas to get home. I was not empty. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to keep going. So I got back in my car and I started driving. And I thought, I'll stop at the gas station right near my house. Which, of course, now I'm adding more time. But anyway, that's what I wanted to do. So I get there. Every single pump only has premium fuel. Like there's a little sign, a handwritten sign, premium only, premium only. And I'm like, gosh darn it, I don't want to pay for premium gas. I'm not going here. So I had to go in the complete opposite direction, all the way down the street to another third gas station. I get there, you guys. The pump won't accept my card, so I had to go inside anyway, and I spent, an extra 15 to 20 minutes getting gas when I could have spent an extra minute walking inside.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
I couldn't believe it. I was so upset.
So the premium gas is probably about 25 cents more per gallon?
I don't even know.
So was it worth the $2.50 or $3?
Probably not.
To go to the third?
I mean, in my head it was, but by the time I got there and it wouldn't take my card there, I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. So I walked in and I was like, why isn't the pump taking my card? She's like, it's not. I don't know. It works here. I'm like,
Wow.
So my laziness backfired completely.
It's kind of like Murphy's Law in a way. I mean, you know how like when you're filling up your gas tank and let's say it's like a freezing cold night or something like that, and you're like, you know what, I'm not gonna wait here for the 4 minutes it will take to fill the entire tank or whatever, 3 minutes. I'm gonna get half a tank's fine. I'll just do it at a later date. And then at a later date, you're like, why didn't I just fill it up at that point in time?
I have no idea. But a lot of people do that. We all think like that at certain points of the day where I'm like, I'm not a lazy person, but I just, why didn't I just walk in?
Right, just cut out. I mean, I always talked about like the most annoying 4 minutes of your life. Like, you know, like when you go to put something in a dishwasher and it's clean, you're like,
yes, you have to empty it.
And it's like the last thing I want to do, even though it literally takes less than 5 minutes.
I know.
To empty the dishwasher. But for some reason, The other thing for me too is like the basement. If I have to take stuff down to the basement, it's so much easier to put it at the steps that go down to the basement as opposed to walking it. So there's like a pile of crap at the top of the basement steps. They just never seem to make it down to the basement.
It's like when we go away, the suitcases are by the basement door. And I'll go a day or two before I go make the trip. And, especially with my daughters. Like, you're 18 or 19 years old. You still need your parents to go put away your suitcases?
Oh, yeah.
And they don't say anything. And Cindy goes, you can do it. Fine. But I mean, teach them something.
Of course they don't need you to, but they, if you will, they'll take it.
No, but I'm the same way. It's like, the suitcases are the funniest thing. They will literally sit in our, like Christy has this thing where she'll walk out of the bedroom door and then put the suitcase there. It's like, I'm sorry, where's the valet? Is the valet going to take the suitcase from there, the bellhop?
Yeah, get it to the basement.
Yes.
I unpacked yesterday, took it right down there.
Hey.
Boy, yes.
Wow, Stody is a real go-getter.
Oh, yeah.
All right, here's clue number 2 for random wrestler. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. So that's a very polite way of saying he's dead. Clue number 2 for random wrestler, which doesn't totally narrow it down.
Jamie and Stoney, you're home for dead wrestlers.
Unfortunately, he is no longer with us. Clues 3 and 4 are coming up next. Jamie and Stoney on 97.1 The Ticket. Are you shopping for a new home? Are you looking to refinance your home? Are you looking to do some home improvement projects and you want to know the best ways to finance those? Well, you got to go with a name you can trust when you're talking about the most important investment in your life. And that name is David Hall. I've known David Hall for almost 20 years. You've known David Hall. He's been a presence in this town for the entire time. And with Hall Financial, when you go there for your home mortgage business, you are a name. You are not a number. David Hall put together Hall Financial with just a small group of mortgage bankers because he wanted to provide for you the best service you can possibly get. Smaller client load means better service, and better service is what Hall Financial is all about. They have over 700 5-star reviews. That's their goal. They want to give you the best service that you can get to make sure that you're thrilled and you're happy and you get out of your home what you need to get out of your home. Go to davidhallmortgage.com today. That's davidhallmortgage.com, or give them a call, 248-308-5000.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
This report brought to you by Adam. You're going to see delays this morning, 75 southbound between Lapeer Road and University Drive. Also southbound moving very slowly between Square Lake Road and Crooks as you head into the work zone. Numerous traffic signals still not working due to power outages. That includes Wayne at Eureka, Southfield at 10 Mile, 8 and 12 Mile roads at DeQuinder, Ford Road between Merriman and Middlebelt, and Gratiot Avenue at Connor and at Outer Drive. If you're a man facing divorce or custody issues, you need the attorneys at Adam, expertly protecting men's rights for over 25 years. Call 248-356-ADAM. I'm Michelle Pena on the WWJ 24-hour Traffic Center.
The Detroit Tigers host the Philadelphia Phillies. Pregame tomorrow at 6:45 on 97.1 The Ticket.
This is Mark Malusis with the CBS Sports Minute, sponsored by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. It was only fitting that Mariano Rivera closed out the Baseball Hall of Fame induction ceremonies in Cooperstown, New York on Sunday. The career saves leader and the greatest closer of all time was the first player unanimously voted in by the Baseball Writers Association of America. He finished with 652 career saves, and for my money, the most dominant pitcher in postseason history with 42 saves, allowed just 11 earned runs in 141 innings of work. It was stunning when he failed, as success seems so easy. A native of Panama spoke from the heart on Sunday, rarely looking down at his prepared speech, and as fans chanted his name, that seemed right. Rivera was all heart, and for 19 years, his dominance was unlike anything we have ever seen or will ever see again. I'm Mark Malusis.
When the sand gets hot, you gotta move fast, like a dog chasing a frisbee. Move just as fast to the Ford Hurry Up and Save sales event. Because for the first time ever, you can get 20% estimated savings on select Ford
heroes. In the last year, Jeff and his team were ranked #1 in the state, according to the Wall Street Journal. Won Realtor of the Year from Detroit Home Magazine and voted one of the coolest places to work by Cranes. Call 855-JEFF-SELLS. Online at housesoldname.com. Realtor Jeff Glover. A household name. Jeff Glover's affiliated with Keller Williams Realty.
When your credit is not exactly what you would call good, but you really need a new car or truck, you're in luck. Taylor Chevrolet is the dealership that says yes to all credit applications, no matter what your past credit has been. Apply online at TaylorChevy.com for immediate approval. All credit situations are welcome. Taylor's experienced credit pros know the best finance solutions for dealing with tough credit. Get approved and choose your new vehicle today on Telegraph north of Eureka. Taylor Chevrolet says yes. We say yes. Dish and Sling customers, you're no longer able to watch the Tigers on Fox Sports Detroit. Don't miss another game. Drop Dish and Sling and switch TV providers now by calling 866-FOX-FANS or visit KeepMyHomeTeams.com.
The Detroit Tigers host the Philadelphia Phillies this week at Comerica Park, and 97.1 The Ticket Street Team will be at Gate A before the games. Bogey and Wojo broadcast live tomorrow starting at 6. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit Tigers.com for your tickets to any Tigers home game.
Now available for download. Always Aggravated. A Mike Valenti signature podcast. Get it on radio.com and Apple iTunes.
Wind up the 3-2. Swinging a ground ball softly to short. Big hop for Goodrum to the left of second. Easy toss to Dixon. What a job by Tyler Alexander. Good defense behind him, but he just got through 7 innings in his second major league start, and he finishes, assuming he's done, by retiring 14 batters in a row. Terrific job. Tyler Alexander, Stoney, good old number 70.
So, you know, it's a great pitching numbers in the history of baseball. You know, 30, 34, 32, 19, 70, 35, 35. Yeah, 35, that's it, Justin. Yes, it is. In case you weren't sure. We are giving away wrestling tickets for the WWE SmackDown at the LCA on August 6th at 7:45. We're doing Random Wrestler. We've given you 2 clues so far. Here's clue number 3. He's a member of the WWE Hall of Fame. He's a member of the WWE Hall of Fame. Okay? We'll give you one more clue here right before 8 o'clock, right before Tony's Sports Update. And we'll give you away tickets for whoever gets the first correct answer there. All right, Big Ten Media Days were last week. We did the whole Jim Harbaugh, Urban Meyer topic on Friday. And now Jim Harbaugh on Friday, of course, kind of blew that whole thing off when he was asked more about it.
Yeah.
And then...
which I actually think it was much ado about anything. It was stupid to even mention because of the record against Ohio State. But what he said was pretty factual, except Bowling Green in Utah, he never had any controversy, meaning Urban Meyer, so only half of them.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it a lot on Friday, and Rieger's take on it was based...
I can predict it. Fire him.
I don't think he said fire.
I know.
But he did say that he just thought it was weak. He thought it was weak because he did it after Meyer left, as opposed to, you know, because obviously a controversy was there.
Yeah.
So, and I can see that point. I agree with you. I think in this day and age, when you ask a guy a question and he answers it, you're like, oh, great, thanks. Thanks for actually giving me a good answer.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit surprised that the interviewer, Tim Kawakami, didn't kind of follow up on that.
Yeah.
But whatever. Anyway, so on Friday, in a variety of interviews, he did the thing on the podium, then he did a breakout session, and then he went on radio and talked about the transfer rules in college football. Now, this is kind of a long answer. Basically, Jim Harbaugh thinks that students should be allowed to transfer.
Yeah.
Without any penalty.
Once.
And so if you don't like it at Michigan, you go to Toledo, or you go to Texas, or you go to Arizona State. And if you don't like it there, then you have to sit out a year. So that way you're not doing the whole shopping thing. But this is a long answer to the ESPNU Big Ten radio.
You know, the youngster that says, okay, this is a mental health issue. You know, I'm suffering from depression, or that's a reason that they're getting eligible. And once that's known, that you're hey, just say this, you know, or say that, and then to get eligible. The problem I see in that is that you're going to have guys that are, okay, yeah, I'm depressed. You know, mental.
They're going to say what they got to say.
They can say what they got to say, but then, you know, down the road, I don't see that helping them. You know, if it's not a legitimate thing, and nobody would know, but what are you going to say? Like, 10 years down, I just said what I had to say, and I think you're putting them in a position that's unfair, not right, and as you said, John, you're saying it just to say it, you know, and that's not, you know, that's not truthful. That's not necessarily truthful, and you know, that's not something that we should be promoting at the college level. I mean, telling the truth matters. Brian, the number one thing that you need to do, especially at a college, is you know, you can't have experiments that aren't truthful. You can't you know, lie about experiments. You can't lie about equations. You know, shouldn't be lying in football, and that's a message that we should be teaching.
A little ramble there, but
he goes a little Harbaugh at the end, but that's all right. Yeah,
that's right. That's what he is. Now, the reason...
Don't lie about equations, Tony.
I don't.
Okay.
The reason this got controversial is because he had a player, James Hudson, who transferred to the University of Cincinnati, and the NCAA won't clear him for immediate eligibility because they said they had no idea. Michigan didn't document his depression that he said he talked to Jim Harbaugh and so it looks like that Harbaugh is like ripping the kid, and maybe it has something to do with that. Maybe I don't know. So Harbaugh looks like he's not a proponent of like mental health, basically, which is, from what I understand, pretty far from the truth. They do a pretty good job, like most schools do, addressing this situation. And but when his mother, James Hudson's mother, heard about this, she had a different take. Here's some of her comments to WTOL television in Toledo.
Not just the mom, but as a professional that deals in mental health. This is why people don't come out and say these things, because people don't believe them. So it upsets me because athletes of all people, I mean, there's lots of athletes that suffer with depression. I'm sure they don't say things. But again, hearing these type of things, they won't. They will not do it in the future because you get, oh, he's lying.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now, I think Jim Harbaugh is correct that there could be some very small amount who might use that as a way to, this way I can become eligible immediately. And that's part of that. And Jim Harbaugh believes that every kid should, like we said, be eligible immediately when he transfers.
See, I view the Harbaugh comments as not an attack on the mental health industry or people who suffer from mental health. I view it as actually an argument to bolster his overall point, which is that everybody should be allowed to transfer without any question. I actually think both Harbaugh and Ms. Hudson here are correct. I have no doubt that she's speaking the truth, and she believes that. And I didn't realize she worked with in the mental health industry. But obviously there's a lot of people. But at the same time, I would guess, Stoney, and I'm not trying to be cynical here, it's more than just a small number of people who will try to cite mental health as a reason when maybe it's not even a reason.
I'm not going to even venture a guess to say that. I'm sure there are people who would use that. Because you use anything to get
you don't want to sit out for a year.
Exactly.
I mean, this is the problem is that there's a system in place that is flawed, and it will always be flawed. That there's no way to fix it so everybody's happy. I'm sorry, you're not going to pay everybody, just not. And so with a flawed system, people try to find loopholes. Now, coaches are those people too.
Yeah.
So I don't want to sit here and absolve Harbaugh and college football coaches of everything that goes on in collegiate football. There's gray shirts, there's pulled scholarships, because you are trying to get the best team out there on the field. It's not just for the glory of the student athlete, but there's student athletes who are trying to take advantage of the system as well. But the overall point here from Harbaugh is let every kid transfer once.
Right, and I agree with that.
I think it's a great point. I think it's a great argument.
And he later said that if you transfer a second time, then you should have to sit out.
Yeah, which I think is totally fair.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take some calls on this 248-539-9797. I think it's kind of a fascinating conversation to have, as many of us are purely just fans of college sports, but I know there's people out there who do suffer from some sort of mental illness, and they might have a problem with what Harbaugh said, or they might have a problem with somebody lying about a mental illness just to get ahead, which I think is a larger issue here. But we got to give you clue number 4 for random wrestler. He wrestled in the first WrestleMania. All right? Do you know who it is? 248-539-9797. Call in now. First correct answer gets tickets to WWE SmackDown.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. A radio.com sports station. Sports headlines. All day, every day. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Nicholas Castellanos' solo home run in the bottom of the 10th inning. The game-winning hit for the Tigers as they knock off the Toronto Blue Jays 4-3. Yesterday's finale of that 3-game weekend series. Afterwards, Castellanos let loose to reporters about his frustration with the dimensions of Comerica Park.
This park's a joke. You know, it's to the point where, like, how are we going to be compared to the rest of the people in the league for power numbers and OPS and slugging and all this stuff? And we got a yard out here that's 420 feet straight across the center field, you know. And then we get on second base or third base, and they're looking like, man, how do you guys do this? We play 81 games here, man. I don't want to hear about your 2 that you hit that are questionable, you know.
In fact, of the 89 home runs that have been hit by the Tigers this season, only 34 of those have come at Comerica Park. The Baseball Hall of Fame officially welcomed in 6 new members yesterday at induction ceremonies held in Cooperstown, New York. Among those inducted on Sunday, Mariano Rivera, Mike Mussina, Lee Smith, and the late Roy Halladay. At the British Open yesterday, Shane Lowry, despite shooting a 1-over-par 72 in the final round, would still breeze to an easy 6-shot win over Tommy Fleetwood yesterday. It's the first ever win at a major and first career victory on the PGA Tour for the 32-year-old Lowry. Item of note from the NFL this morning, Tom Brady getting slammed on social media today for cliff diving with his 6-year-old daughter this past weekend in Costa Rica. Many are commenting that Brady drags his daughter off the cliff and asks if he was even aware that there may have been rocks at the bottom of the water before that jump. From the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Tony Ortiz. For more, go to 971theticket.com.
Jamie and Stoney on 97.1 The Ticket.
So wait, now that's news? It's news that people on Twitter are questioning Tom Brady for parent shaming?
Well, at least he held on to her.
Yes.
Imagine if he wouldn't have. It could have gone a completely different direction.
I agree.
That little girl probably wouldn't be alive.
I agree. The comments, though, are hilarious about Tom Brady and his parent. Just hilarious.
Well, they're probably all non-Patriot fans.
Probably.
So they're trying to find, like, some flaw in the Superman veneer of Tom Brady.
Oh, Goodell will suspend Tom Brady. They won't suspend Tyreek Hill, but they'll suspend Tom Brady.
Right. Well, they'll do a new report.
Yeah.
A report on to find out whether or not, how inflated it. I mean, come on.
You've seen the video, I'm assuming, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a great look. It reminded me a little bit of the video of a couple years ago when Rieger throws his daughter into the, foam pit or whatever. It looked worse than it looked. You know what I mean?
No.
Well, first of all, I'm sure she said she wanted to do it.
Did. You could hear her say she wanted to do it. She wanted his hand and she wanted him to do it.
Yeah.
But then she chickened out, and if he would have jumped without holding on to her, she would have fallen and probably hit the rocks.
Yeah, but she didn't.
I know. Thank God she didn't.
I mean, the mistake is
Brady held on to her.
Brady shouldn't have posted on social media.
Correct.
Opened himself up to the backlash. But at the same time, it's like, you know how many... I mean, you're a parent. There are some near-death experiences.
Yes.
Because you just do stupid things sometimes.
Yes.
I don't believe I would have jumped off a cliff with my 6-year-old because my wife would have killed me.
Yes.
You know, she would have gotten out of the water. I wouldn't have, because my wife would have jumped in after me and strangled me in the water. But at the same time, I don't think it's the worst thing that's ever happened.
No, but I agree with you.
It's not because she lived.
Well, she did, yeah.
And the other part is don't post it on social media.
Right.
Not everything you do has to go on social media.
Exactly. Yeah, you gotta think twice on what the backlash.
Correct.
But maybe at this point, Brady doesn't care what the backlash.
Oh, I'm sure he doesn't.
Congratulations to Phil from Flint.